So, picture this. Young Master Cheon, looking all worn out, finds himself in the middle of some creepy forest. He's got his game face on, even though he's clearly had better days. Two mysterious cloaked figures, their faces shadowed, loom over him like something out of a horror movie. Under a moonlit sky, Cheon is piecing it all together, realizing these guys have been pulling the strings all along. The plot thickens. Our boy Cheon stands firm, surrounded by these ominous figures, like he's about to drop the hottest mixtape of the year. But nah, it's just impending doom. Even with a blurry face, Cheon's eyes pierce through, full of determination, or maybe just regret for not skipping leg day. One of the cloaked figures, clearly the chatty one, teases Cheon about his little cardio session in the woods. They know him well, calling him Young Master Cheon, like they're on first-name terms. Another figure, probably the group's comedian, jokes about nearly dozing off waiting for Cheon's grand entrance. Hey, even assassins need their beauty sleep. Cheon's in a real pickle now, surrounded by these sword-wielding ninjas, and has too tired to run another marathon. It's decision time. Desperate times call for desperate questions. Cheon demands to know why these guys are crashing his no-entry to the Academy pity party. With a face blurred but intentions clear, Cheon asks the million-dollar question, why are these guys out for his blood? The leader, with killer eyes and a voice full of mystery, tells Cheon that it doesn't matter if he's given up on the Academy. As long as he's a potential heir, he's on their hit list. And just when you think things can't get worse, the leader suggests a little neck handover. Not exactly the kind of gift exchange Cheon was hoping for. Finally, one of the cloaked figures, with a ghostly aura, acknowledges Cheon's humble roots. Amidst an emotional turmoil, our protagonist is seething over the insult of his lowly birth and the slander against his mother. How dare they? The fury in his eyes could melt stone. In the next moment, he realizes the grim truth. They're not planning on giving him an easy way out. Oh, the drama. Sweat trickles down his face as he clutches a weapon, but he's determined to go down swinging. With a swift and powerful motion, the masked figure delivers a blow, the air whistling past with a resounding whoosh. The masked man, with intense purple eyes and cloaked in mystery, grips his opponent's neck with an iron fist, demanding attention. Despite the masked man's intimidating question, "Are you finished?" the opponent has a trick up his sleeve, quite literally. A hidden dagger glints under the moonlight as the opponent plans a surprise counterattack. Suddenly, the scene shifts as someone shouts a warning. Watch out, but it might be too late. With an unexpected twist, the adversary stabs the masked man, turning the tables in this intense standoff. More masked figures appear, their eyes wide with surprise and alarm at the unfolding drama. As the tension escalates, the adversary's actions lead to a chaotic splash of blood, showing the fierce struggle. Amidst the chaos, the adversary chuckles, grinning, as if saying, "Serves you right." The surviving masked figures question how an untrained boy could take down a stealth squad member. They ponder whether the boy's wild actions were a clever ruse to catch them off guard. Impressed by his shrewdness in the face of danger, they wonder what he could achieve with proper training. Under the moonlit sky, the scene bursts into action as a hooded figure, cloaked in mystery and menace, charges forward with a fierce swoosh. His eyes are locked onto his target, a young warrior clad in white, caught in the merciless grip of fate. "Damn you!" echoes in the air, a shout of defiance or perhaps despair. The clash of steel rings out as the hooded figure strikes, his sword slicing through the stormy night. The young warrior, face twisted in pain and surprise, is thrown back, blood spraying from the brutal impact. Debris flies as the young warrior is sent crashing into the ground, the force of the blow knocking the breath from his lungs. A choked gasp escapes him, a testament to the pain and shock coursing through his battered body. With blood trickling from his mouth, the young warrior lies on the ground, eyes wide in disbelief and agony. Above him, the hooded figure looms, his voice cold and final. "The games are over," he declares, sealing the warrior's fate. The hooded figure's face is obscured, a mask hiding any trace of humanity as he raises his sword for the final strike. The young warrior, blurred and battered, braces for the inevitable blow that will seal his fate. The sound of a blade piercing flesh fills the air, accompanied by a scream that echoes through the forest. The young warrior's body convulses in agony, his voice a raw, primal cry of pain. The scene shifts to the serene yet haunting backdrop of the forest, rain cascading down in sheets under the glowing moon. The tranquility of the setting is in stark contrast to the violent struggle happening within its depths. Despite the pain, the young warrior chokes and coughs, struggling to breathe through the blood and torment. His spirit remains unyielding, a flicker of defiance in his eyes. The hooded figure taunts his victim, the question dripping with malice. "How does it feel to have a hole in your stomach?" he asks, pressing the sword deeper, relishing the anguish he's inflicted. Realization dawns on the young warrior as he admits, "Damn it, it looks like I'm out of tricks." His options are dwindling, but his resolve is not yet extinguished. With a determined grip on the ground, the young warrior finds solace in having taken one of his foes with him. The hooded figure, unsatisfied, demands more suffering, intent on prolonging the young warrior's agony. The young warrior's pain intensifies as the hooded figure presses down, emphasizing the cruel triumph. Yet, within the torment, a flicker of resistance remains, refusing to go quietly into the night. The scene opens with a cloaked figure standing menacingly over a fallen comrade, sword in hand, and a simple yet heavy ellipsis hanging in the air. The figure mutters in disdain, "I don't like this." The perspective shifts to reveal the cloaked figure's face, or at least what little is visible beneath the hood. With a sigh, they resign to the loss, stating, "But I suppose it can't be helped. We lost a man." Suddenly, a blinding flash of light bursts onto the scene, illuminating everything in a dramatic and unexpected turn of events. The cloaked figure's eyes widen in shock, the intensity of the light reflected in their gaze. What could have caused such a sudden burst? The narrative takes a more intense turn as the cloaked figure is caught off guard by a swirling, explosive force that tears through the area, leaving them in shock, as indicated by the sudden splat. The camera pans down to show the aftermath, with the cloaked figures scattered and a sense of chaos enveloping the scene. In the midst of the chaos, one of the cloaked figures is violently struck down, with the dire situation leaving the remaining figures on edge. Still reeling from the unexpected attack, the cloaked figures regroup, their faces grim as they try to make sense of the ambush. Amidst the confusion, one of the figures questions aloud, What was that white light just now?" Clearly, they are as baffled as we are by this mysterious turn of events. A sneaker-clad foot steps into the scene with a decisive shift, hinting at the arrival of a new player, and the cloaked figures are visibly taken aback. Reacting quickly to the new threat, one of the cloaked figures urgently yells. As the scene unfolds in a dark, shadowy forest, we see a group of sinister, cloaked figures, swords drawn and ready for action. But their attention is drawn to a mysterious figure standing in the distance, glowing with a bright blue aura. The tension is electric, literally. These cloaked warriors edge closer, their faces hidden behind masks, eyes locked on the glowing figure. Sparks fly as the energy surrounds this enigmatic individual, who stands unfazed, exuding an aura of calm amidst the chaos. With a closer look, this mysterious character's attire is revealed, a hoodie crackling with energy, arms crossed in a display of cool defiance. Sparks sizzle and pop around them, painting a picture of power and mystery. A puzzled cloaked figure voices what everyone's thinking. What is that strange attire? But our glowing friend remains silent, letting the sparks do the talking. Then, with a subtle shift, the mysterious figure adjusts their stance, a small yet significant gesture. The energy shifts around them, signaling that something big is about to go down. In a burst of action, one of the cloaked figures rushes forward, demanding, "Who goes there?" Meanwhile, our glowing friend stays put, letting the tension build with every moment. Suddenly, the mysterious figure is enveloped in a powerful whoosh. Their blue aura flares up, lighting up the forest in an intense display of power. A smirk plays on the glowing figure's face. They're not just standing there for show. A flash of light bursts from their body, filling the scene with a brilliant radiance. The flash is followed by a wave of energy, cascading over the forest like a tidal wave, creating a stark contrast of light and shadow. Two of the cloaked figures are caught in the shockwave, their blades raised in defense, but it's clear they're outmatched by this mysterious power. One cloaked figure, eyes wide in shock, manages a stammer, "What?" as they reel from the energy's impact, their disbelief as palpable as the air around them. Amidst the chaos, the mysterious figure— Flash! The scene opens with a hand bursting with electric energy, illuminating the darkness around it. It's the kind of light show that means business, y'all. Splat! We shift to another frame where a figure is brutally hit, sending a spray of blood into the air. It's a rough day in the neighborhood. Amidst the chaos, the sky looms large, with trees swaying silently. The calm before the storm, or maybe just the calm after a massive shockwave. Meet our fallen hero, or maybe anti-hero. He lies on the ground, looking like he's been through the ringer, yet there's a grin on his face. Talk about taking it in stride. His eye, bloodshot and intense, stares into the distance. Excellent, he mumbles. What could he possibly find excellent in this mess? With a sly grin, his thoughts echo, "Hey now." There's something almost cheeky in his tone, as if he's enjoying the drama. Through his thoughts, we learn he's surprised by the attacker referring to him as a noble ancestor. This day keeps getting weirder. His mind races. Ancestor. Who is he? What does he mean? His vision blurs, matching his growing confusion. As the scene darkens, his body grows cold, and the gravity of his situation sinks in. Is this how I die? He ponders with an eerie calmness. Enter a new character, sporting a hoodie and a gadget-laden wrist. Has checking his watch like he's about to miss the bus. Already, huh? He remarks nonchalantly. He approaches with purpose, a device in hand, glowing ominously. It's clear has got something important to teach, but I have to hurry, before you die. With a swift motion, our blue-hooded hero jabs a needle into the blurred figure. Man, it even hurts just watching it go in. There. All done. He says it with such a calm smile, like he just finished a fun little craft project. All right, forefather. Whoa, this just got deep. Our hoodie guy is hoping for some major success for this forefather dude's descendants. These nanomachines are cutting edge, so you won't have any trouble using them. Imagine getting tech support like this. Spark. And just like that, our mysterious hero zaps away, leaving the forefather to figure things out. No pressure, right? Our forefather is left lying there, all like while trying to process what just happened. What is that strange boy saying? The forefather's thoughts are a mix of confusion and suspicion. Serial number 03445325893. It seems like the forefather's mind is picking up some unexpected signals. I hear something strange in my head. The forefather realizes there's more to this than meets the eye. Welcome to the world of SkyCorp, folks. They're the big brains behind the Gen 7 nanomachine, which, hold on to your hats, is now up and running. This is the kind of tech that makes sci-fi fans giddy with excitement, hinting at a future where nanotechnology could change the game completely. Enter Nanomachine, the story that's going to take us on a wild ride through the realms of futuristic tech and mind-bending possibilities. With this introduction, we're all set for a tale that's sure to be packed with action, intrigue, and maybe a dash of chaos. And just like that, the prologue wraps up, leaving us teetering on the edge of what's to come. The collaboration of some serious creative minds promises a thrilling adventure in the world of nanomachines and beyond. Let's get ready for the main event. Picture a time back in the day when Chinese warriors were all about that martial arts life, learning the ropes of self-defense. These skills weren't just for show. They became a lethal art form with some fancy breathing techniques thrown in for good measure, shaping up a complex art that could pack a punch. As these martial arts evolved, they weren't just about dodging punches anymore. They became a full-blown art form, combining fighting forms and breathing techniques to crank up that internal power. It was like leveling up in a video game, turning warriors into some serious contenders. These martial arts warriors weren't selfish with their skills. They jotted down their moves into texts, handing them down like family recipes, but way cooler, eventually becoming sacred manuals that held the secrets to their power. With these sacred manuals, the warriors who mastered them were no joke. Their abilities were off the charts, earning them the title of Murim warriors, the elite fighters of the land. And where there are elite warriors, there are factions forming faster than you can say kung fu. As factions formed, warriors gathered around the Murim masters like moths to a flame, hoping to snag some of that wisdom. Among these factions, the righteous faction and the evil faction stood out, each strutting down their respective paths. Among the factions were the righteous faction, walking the straight and narrow, and the evil faction, taking a stroll on the wicked side. But then there was a third faction, not quite fitting into either mold, focused solely on power. Enter the demonic faction, also known as the demonic cult. This crew wasn't about to take sides. They had their own gig going on, revering power above all else. And in the midst of this, a story was brewing, one that was about to shake things up. This tale centers on the illegitimate child of the demon cult, a kid by the name of Cheon. His destiny? To rise above the rest and become the second demon lord, taking the helm of the cult with a story that promises to be one heck of a ride. Cheon, the man of the hour, is stepping into the spotlight. The scene kicks off with an intense jolt as our main character springs up, gasping for breath like they've just woken up from one of those nightmares where you forget your pants at school. With eyes wide open, they sit there contemplating, am I alive? It's a classic case of waking up and not remembering if you left the stove on, but with a bit more existential crisis. But wait, there's more. They recall being stabbed in the stomach, not exactly a paper cut, and they're understandably puzzled, trying to piece together what went down. And then, as if waking up in bed wasn't confusing enough, they realize they're soaked. Seriously, did someone dump a bucket of water on them for a rude awakening? Just when you think things can't get any weirder, they notice a black, sticky substance on their hand. Trust me, it's not the kind of hand cream you want to be rubbing in. The smell hits them, not quite like fresh cinnamon rolls. It's more like the I forgot to take the trash out kind of odor. And this sticky goo, it's covering them head to toe. Suddenly, a voice breaks through the confusion asking, "Are you up, user?" Our bewildered hero is left with a classic what moment. Looking around, they're trying to find the source of the voice, but there's nobody there. It's the kind of moment where you start questioning if your house is haunted. With a glance, they ponder if it's some distant whispering technique. But nope, it's more like a Bluetooth speaker stuck on max volume in their head. Could it really be coming from their own noggin? Our mysterious protagonist, with his face hidden and a mane of long black hair, seems to be waking up in a room with a puzzled expression. He's clearly confused and blurts out, "Then, were you the one that saved me, oh great Mashin?" Talk about waking up on the wrong side of mysterious. The mysterious voice politely corrects him. If you are talking about fighting off the enemies that were after you, user, that would be incorrect. However, if you mean self-regenerating to save you from death, that would indeed be me. Seems like a classic case of mistaken identity. With question marks practically popping around his head, our guy asks, what does self-regenerating mean? The voice, like a futuristic dictionary, starts explaining, transferring basic information to the user's brain, but gets interrupted by our protagonist's confusion about what a user is. The voice, perhaps more AI than spirit, adapts its language, searching for historical terminology to explain itself better. It dismisses the notion of being Mashin, saying, "Master, I am not the demonic spirit Mashin that you speak of." Well, that clears things up, kind of. Our protagonist is taken aback. What? The voice changed? Not Mashin? Then what are... He trails off, his curiosity barely keeping up with the twists. The voice offers to transfer information about itself, along with an instruction manual directly into his brain. Will you proceed, it asks, in a move that screams curiosity killed the Kagris. Okay. And bam, out of nowhere, we're hit with a dramatic spark as our dude's hair stands on end, looking like he's in a techno rave from the future. With a big swoosh, his eyes widen, and he's hit with the motherlode of information. It's like he's downloading the entire internet straight into his brain. But uh-oh, that data rush looks intense. With another spark, the pressure builds and he gasps heave as if he's running a marathon in his head. And there it is, the aftermath of too much brain food. Blar! Yeah, our guy couldn't handle the info dump and ends up losing his lunch. A messy splatter on the floor marks the end of the transfer, and a reassuring voice notes, this is a common occurrence after the very first information transfer. There will be no dizziness or vomiting the second time. Peeking into the mind of our protagonist, we find him in a bit of a pickle. He's bewildered, talking to a mysterious voice that he calls Nanomachine. The voice calmly confirms its identity, addressing him as Master. In disbelief, our protagonist questions the presence of these tiny machines in his body. The voice calmly reassures him, confirming their existence with a jaw-dropping number of 6,482,400,000. A heavy sigh escapes him as he processes the revelation. It wasn't a human or a mystical force behind his predicament, but these strange machines. Curiosity piqued, he wonders if the nanomachine can leave his body, only to be told it's programmed to stick around until he kicks the bucket. On top of everything, he's got his half-siblings plotting his demise. Oh, and now he's got mysterious machines living rent-free in his body. Questioning why the universe has it out for him, he's about to ask who put the nanomachines in him when there's a knock on the door. Enter Physician Bake. Our protagonist is caught off guard, his surprise evident as he tries to maintain his cool. Panic mode activated. He orders the nanomachine to zip it, worried about looking like a nutcase talking to himself. Quick thinking from the nanomachine suggests they communicate through thoughts only, allowing our protagonist to breathe a sigh of relief. Two figures tiptoe into the room, planning to examine the sleeping young master, unaware he's wide awake and listening. The jig is up as he's caught by surprise. The physician eagerly inquires about his curled up in a shady corner. Our main dude is having a serious what-the-heck moment with this weird black goo. He's thinking, wait, did this gunk just ooze out of me? Are these like all the nasty toxins my body was hoarding? Our guy's still tripping over the whole detox thing, and he's all like, yo, nanomachine, is this your handiwork? The silence is real, but then boom, a voice in his head's like, yes! Nanomachine's got its groove back and starts spilling the tea. Unmuting. Dude, I've been working overtime in your body, nuking those toxins. You're basically a walking athletic superhero now. Looking like a sci-fi dream, our hero's body is lit with blue electric vibes, all thanks to Nanomachine's magic touch. It's like a fitness commercial, but cooler. Reality check. Our dude gulps, trying to wrap his head around what just went down. What are you? He mutters, his brain doing somersaults. He recalls, you said you're not a Machin. But like, really? He's got to be sure about this cosmic upgrade. Nanomachine's got jokes or just plain sassy. Yeah, I'm a machine, not a Machin master. It says, leaving our hero to ponder his new life. The demonic cult is all about those martial and demonic arts, and within it, there are 6 core sects. The Shadow Sect, the Sword Sect, and the Stealth Sect. Next up, we have the Poison Sect, the Saber Sect, and the Musician Sect. It's like a demonic battle of the bands, but with more swords and poisons. These sects have made a pact, offering their maidens to the cult's patriarch to ensure the continuation of his lineage. Talk about some intense matchmaking. A baby is born, wrapped in a blanket of destiny, ready to be raised by their mother's family and eventually enter the Academy of the Demonic Arts. When these heirs come of age, it's off to the Academy of the Demonic Arts, which opens once every 10 years, like a mystical pop-up shop. The Academy boasts the best instructors, aiming to push students to their martial limits. It's like a demonic boot camp, but with more flair. The competition heats up when candidates for the minor priesthood enter the Academy. It's time for the grand tournament, where things get real. Enter a conversation where one character is questioned about being Machin, and they respond, nope, I'm a machine. Now that's a plot twist. A character flinches as someone with a long white hair looks on, leaving us with more questions. With a worried expression, our protagonist remembers that Physician Bake, the man currently examining him, used to be part of the infamous Poison Sect. Talk about bad luck. He realizes he can't let Bake find out about the nanomachines coursing through his body. The tension is real, folks. Luckily, he realizes that these nanomachines are way too advanced for any current medical methods to detect. Phew. Crisis averted for now. Physician Bake, with his sharp eyes, suspects that someone has helped our protagonist. Has perfectly healthy, Bake muses, so some herbal medicine should do the trick. Better safe than sorry, right? Another character, perhaps an assistant or guard, expresses gratitude to Physician Bake, who seems to have done a solid job. No blurred faces can hide his appreciation. Physician Bake, ever the mysterious sage, is about to leave. But wait, his companion offers to escort him back. Such a gentleman. Bak declines the offer. Instead, he instructs his companion to stay and watch over young Master Cheon. Quite the twist, eh? Bake, deep in thought, wonders if it's possible for someone to undergo such a complete transformation. Intriguing, isn't it? The young master, once small and overshadowed by his peers, is now just as robust as the other young masters of the six sects. What a glow-up! Bake reflects on the young master's lineage, pondering whether the patriarch's interest has shifted. Could the blood of holiness be the reason? Bake theorizes that if the young master received secret help from his holiness, there's no need for him to acknowledge it openly. Keeping secrets, are we? Bake muses that the Academy is going to be quite interesting this year. Oh, the drama that's bound to unfold. Back in his room, our protagonist lets out a relieved sigh. It seems Physician Bake didn't catch on to his little secret after all. Dodged a bullet there. Amidst a soft, contemplative atmosphere, our protagonist is deep in thought, realizing their survival owes a lot to Guard Zhang. The mysterious nanomachines played a part too, making for quite the bizarre rescue tag team. As we get a glimpse of someone from behind, possibly Guard Zhang, we learn that nanomachines have done some serious healing magic. But wait, there's a catch. If Guard Zhang hadn't stumbled upon our hero, things might have gotten tricky. Grateful, but a bit flustered, our protagonist tries to thank Zhang, only to be hilariously interrupted by an unexpected suggestion. You need a bath first. The room's tension breaks as the young master acknowledges the rather pressing issue of hygiene. A sniff test confirms it. A bath is indeed necessary. The protagonist agrees, albeit sheepishly, while the room's stench lingers like a bad cologne commercial. Into the steamy bath we go, with our hero soaking away the grime. It's a quiet moment of reflection, the water rippling softly around them as they contemplate their recent brush with death. Settled in the tub, the protagonist addresses the nanomachine, curious about its capabilities. It's a bit like asking your phone what it can do, but, with life-saving tech. Our hero's curiosity doesn't wane. They inquire about the nanomachine's healing powers, wondering just how far these tiny tech wonders can go in patching up battle scars and boo-boos. A brief explanation follows. External wounds? No problem. Internal organ damage? Also a breeze. But major blood loss? That's a bit more complicated, requiring cell division. Our protagonist is left a bit baffled, though, with a resigned, "Oh." The protagonist admits that the nanomachine's explanations are a bit over their head. It's like trying to understand rocket science with a dictionary of slang. Curiosity piqued, the protagonist decides it's a glint of metal flashes, and our character's hand meets the sharp edge of a knife. Ouch! That's gotta hurt, right? The character lets out a pained ack. It hurts, as blood trickles from the fresh cut on their arm. It's a gruesome scene, yet oddly mesmerizing. With a focused expression, the character initiates the healing process on their left hand. Magic or technology, who knows? Whoa, the wound starts to heal, leaving the character in awe of their newfound powers. It's like a real-life magic trick. Stretching the hand, the bleeding stops and the miraculous healing is complete. Talk about a quick fix. Splash! The character is in the bath, still processing what just happened, muttering a soft wow in disbelief. Even after seeing the healing with their own eyes, the character struggles to comprehend it. It's a lot to take in, after all. Reflecting on their newfound abilities, the character questions what other powers might be lurking within them. Can they harness it all? Apparently they can. The mysterious voice confirms their abilities, and the character plans to test them after their bath. Priorities, right? The character flexes, revealing a well-toned physique, ready to take on whatever challenges lie ahead. More flexing action as they admire their own strength. Nanomachine, man. This thing is blowing our protagonist's mind. Dude's muscles have popped like he's been hitting the gym for years, and he's just standing there in disbelief, holding a towel and admiring his gains. Hez asking the big question, did you do this too? The response? A chill confirmation that his body has been restructured. Talk about a whole new level of body sculpting. Restructured, huh? Right then, a servant pops in, all polite, bringing clothes for the young master. Our hero snaps out of his restructuring reverie and acknowledges the servant, still trying to wrap his head around the transformation. Nano gets all science-y, explaining how creating something from scratch is impossible, but hey, restructuring what's already there? Piece of cake. The protagonist just rolls his eyes at this strange talk and wonders if all his studying was just for show. He nicknames the machine Nano, asking if that's cool. Nano's all formal, acknowledging the nickname like it's a court proceeding. Come on, Nano, loosen up a bit. Fast forward to the library, where our hero's looking a bit lost. I'm in the library. What do I do now? Nano's got the answer. Grab a book and turn the pages. So simple, yet so profound. Has wondering if skimming is really all there is to it. Nano's like, yup, that's it. Just a quick flip through, and he's good to go. As he holds a martial arts text, he notes that it's all about acupoints and chi circulation. Sounds like a snooze fest, but the 3 powers breathing method might just be worth a shot. Has musing about the challenges of becoming a third-rate master and figures learning acupoints is the way to go. Gotta start somewhere, right? With determination in his eyes, he declares, I'm gonna start, Nano. Nano gives the green light, all formal again. And then, the pages start flipping like a whirlwind. With each F-whip, his eyes are glued to the text, absorbing information at a ridiculous speed. I'm done, Nano. The mysterious figure declares with a thud as they close the book. The acupoint text scan is complete, and the system Nano is ready to transfer the knowledge directly to the user's brain. Talk about a high-tech brain boost. Attempting to transfer to user's brain. Will you proceed? Nano asks. The user, with an amused look, questions if the scan means the system has copied the information. Nano confirms, asking for final approval to proceed with the transfer. That's correct. Will you proceed with the transfer? Nano calmly inquires again. With a simple yes, proceed, the transfer begins, unleashing a jolt of electric energy that lights up the scene. Our hero winces, feeling the intense surge of information being zapped into his brain. It's like a 10,000-volt shock of knowledge. Ah! The user screams, overwhelmed by the torrent of data. It's like trying to drink from a fire hose, but with brainwaves. The contents of the scan have been transferred successfully. The user gasps, struggling to steady themselves as the last jolt subsides. It's a gasp and wobble kind of moment, you know? Gasp, gasp. The user is catching his breath, sweat pouring down his face. His eyes, a vibrant blue, betray a mix of exhaustion and awe. Nano reassures him that hell adjusts soon, prompting a small sigh of relief. Were you worrying about me just now? The user questions Nano, who simply states facts with a mechanical precision. It's a soulless scoundrel, but somehow charming in its own way. Now, what do I do? The user flops into a chair, processing the new information. Nano instructs him to think of the desired information, like accessing a newly downloaded instruction manual. Acupoints, the user focuses, and knowledge begins to flow. Acupoints play a vital role in the meridian channels and associated vessels for qi. It's like discovering a hidden treasure map. Acupoints, the user learns, are divided into critical and reservoir types. Critical acupoints are also known as paralysis points, capable of momentarily paralyzing someone. The user gasps. The mysterious figure chuckles in disbelief, reveling in their newfound ability. They've not only memorized the text, but also understood its intricacies. Talk about brainy. They've even corrected errors in the text, showcasing an intelligence that's off the charts. The individual continues to explain how they've corrected errors regarding acupoints, thanks to their database of knowledge. Their eyes widen with excitement, as they realize this ability could make them a martial arts prodigy. With a determined look, the character declares their capability to study martial arts texts faster than anyone else. Their grin widens, a mix of excitement and a hint of mischief, as they tremble with anticipation. The character reflects on their past, noting how the other 6 young masters had the advantage of advanced martial arts training since they were kids. However, due to their packed and watchful eyes, all they could learn was the 3 powers breathing method. Determined, the character has heard rumors of a library in the Academy of the Demonic Arts. It doesn't just hold demonic martial arts texts, but also those looted from righteous and evil factions alike. With newfound resolve, the character clenches their fist, vowing to use this ability to become the most powerful figure in the Academy, surpassing all others. The scene, I asked the squad to get rid of a little bothersome trash, and all 5 of them died? You expect me to believe that? It would appear a hidden master played a hand in it. Young Master Mugam. How dare you call me by my given name? I'm sorry, Young Master Cheon. I thought someone of such lowly birth would be completely helpless. but it appears he's been hiding something up his sleeve. I made sure to separate him from his guards. Is there someone else protecting him? I didn't want to dirty my hands, but it looks like I have no choice.